are listening to GOB Radio in the heart of Reading Town. The station dedicated to the black community news, education and entertainment. Stay tuned. You are listening to GOB Radio in the heart of Reading Town. The station dedicated to the black community news, education and entertainment. Stay tuned.
Dumienu abo apa sima enai pepepe adeshimama memo bibia akwaba erebaji obi TV and radio enso emre aso se oman ene amahodo so nsema amensa aka se ewia prem to breka sebui ene mitumi ade besum ye na awefo ene atifo enso enyina ewo ho na ensem no edoso nemum de obetie ebi enso eni ye de eni ebekirem akwa akopie mu enso ewo Ghana mampanyina bedechi Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia enra kremofo afahye no otumi ade nsembi atudwa emunchiremu no ebetumi aba Ghana mampanyi dada John Dramani Mahama enra da medebeto wani ma michiremu se okojina simpie so enso ewo Kimpiski Hotel ade nsembebre na atudwa ya na watu ne din Ghana at a crossroad na sesia no wasi 11 sensem no obape obeyi enso etime de afiri ho emunchiremu ebetumi aba na emu aye kama pa ade amai Muslimi form kopie me obi chisa hodro enrada no ye ni bebre na abonkomo na ire ofeto no sen enesimi ko ede momo emunchirimu ebetumi aba wakwem na nema enso etimi akonanim ede amagana awefo ene etiefo nyina no enso ewo honom ave wo man konkunu Ghana obepiem ewa asante mantemase a 11 no sen ena omanfo osimi esomu efa enu so munchirimu nyina abetumi aba wakwem na nema nso etima konanim ede amagana awefo ene ye netiefo na oba santimantemu a Muslimi fo afahye no mudiye no ase no regional minister onmonyamfo Samuel wosai enso etime kokopie mo honum bia nsembebre na ana etimi akoso ewo ho eno nso munchiremu nyina na ebetumi aba wakwem na nema nso etima konanim ede amagana awefo ene etiefo tumfo ana musi ne sumankwanyene enso kopie mo dwumadie na se a wono so di nsembebre na nso etimi atudwa eno nso munchiremu nyina no ebetumi aba wakwem na nema akonanim ede amaye na wefo ene etiefo nyina no enso ehonum nsemwei ene afufuro bi nene obetie enso ewo area prem to breka se boso wo GOB authentic news enso eso na kasebo nyuma ko bi adawo ma na yetumi ade abra obrefo travel and tour wasi tukwan ne netu aka wo chine bi umpewe na opeden ene befo say utu kwan pe na wetimi abepie mo na gache obetimi abo apa emepe mi de wonja tonde no enso betimi atudwa ede ame na wefo ne etiefo no ewo ho sans ne utimi kokopie mu nso a GOB multimedia enso eso yasni bi Lucien Phones and accessories eka hu bi na kasebo etimi eba wakwem na ne ma so etima ko nanim ede ame na wefo ene ye netiefo nyina no enso ewo ho nom Genesis Fashion Designs and Boutique nso ka hu bi na bibibia nso etima ko wano pa ede ame na wefo ene ye netiefo kasebo ye twagwo wo Facebook GOB news and radio na ne ma so etima ko nanim ede ame wo san bo re ma wo Facebook o pe unsa betimi asa can live and clear GOB radio and news portal hono so ye say streaming live and so why won ye ma ko nanim ede ame na wefo ene etiefo YouTube on GOB TV UKGH na bibibia nso etima ko pepepe ede amagana wefo ene etiefo nyina no ewo honom afa ebourem enso modern Ghana radio GOB radio tune in GOB radio na www.gobtv.tv enso so kasebo twagu kama ewo wa ne ma ko nanim ede emae gobnewsonline.com onso no sakwa ubetimi enya live and clear na ne ma so etima ko nanim ede amagana wefo ene etiefo nyina no enso ewo honum midi eno Oheneba Appiah Kubi wo frame na asai pe metumi ajusu pa mine ne meje pre enya pre ere kase ni nchiremu nyina no etumi eba wakwe me da me nwa ba me ba pe kase ni nchiremu ebetumi ato aso enso etumi ede amount.
You are listening to GOB Radio in the heart of Reading Town. The station dedicated to the black community news, education and entertainment. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned here na yen free kase bona se emfa emaw na ye go sha se de free Ghana man panyina be de chire Dr. Mahamadu Baumia akache na enu ada wo panyi ejina simpie so enso okrapupuni mantem wo abra na nkremofu afa hye Idil Fitr Idil Ramadan no enso etimi ekoso na ne ma so etima ko na nimede amayenu mu muslimi fo nyina no enso ho no ana papa na de tudwa wo chem se enen Ghana be koya eye wonzom ye nyina no ba ku zom na ba ku asom ne nyina ya boa ama Ghana kodu bo hye asase so se ne ma betima ko na nimpa de ne ye nyina no ye nya ahodaso na ye nkonkoden na ye mfa akomapa ene kro ye enso etimi amoa ema o man ne mpuntu ntimi nko nanim afi kra no ene ma wodo bi aban no ede esi na nisu se obeye no ye nyina ye nsom ne amoa se be ye ne ma betima ko nanim ede ama Ghana revo ne etefo nyina no enso honom ene dodo na ene res o man no empuntu obetumi aba na ama mabunu setimanya ofa ahudie enso wadwumasemu eni sikasemu ne senti no ene akwakoye Ramadan mpaye Ghana fo titru ni muslimi fo ebo nyina no ema mpaye no enkonkoye bibi se ebeboa ama oman no enso etima akonanim na sei ena Dr. Mahamadu
is a direct outcome of the past 1 month has been a fulfilling period of sacrifice and devotion, and if we have witnessed the end of it, and we have gathered here and in other places across the country, it is by the sheer grace of Allah, for which we have to be gracious. Fellow Muslims, Ghana is globally acclaimed as a very peaceful country, and we have attained enviable positions on the Global Peace Index as the most peaceful country in West Africa and the second most peaceful country in Africa. It is because of the tolerance, cooperation, and mutual respect between Muslims and Christians across the country. Elsewhere, faith-based groups are at each other's throats and are destructive elements to the peace of their communities. Here in Ghana, we are blessed with tolerant and progressive religious leadership and groups which are contributing meaningfully to the national development. Let us continue to strengthen our ties regardless of our different religious identities, so that we can continue to positively influence our communities and the nation. My brothers and sisters, as we converge at various Eid grounds and reunite with our families and friends and loved ones, let us savor the moment, but in moderation, especially on our various streets. Beyond the Eid, let us uphold the great Islamic values of selflessness, generosity, compassion we show towards humanity during the month of Ramadan. Let us continue to be each other's keeper, love one another, and be tolerant of each other regardless of religious and political affiliation. May the Almighty Allah accept our sacrifice and supplications, and may He bless our dear nation Ghana. Barka da musalla jama'a, Allah ya maimaita mana, Allah ya kai mu sabon shekara. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Amin. Ya zai jalali wal ikram. Amin.
Enti opanyina nei nidi enso ne Dr. Mahamadu Baumia ane etene nka no ya wode nsema wodo na so etimi atuja eri amagana refo ne etiefo na wo chemsi enuamu muslimifo no eyade ese mo mama ho fama ya mode so mo man no enso entimi ensi pinesita na afekura na adwuna wodo bebra yewo enso ewo muslimfo ho ewo Michael Kuno Ghana ha no enso etimi ento emfiri ehonum na yento akase ebone so yeguso awo muslimifo akache na won enanu sini ya no so wo Michael Kono Ghana ha e wa santimantema imam a ono e wo Central Mosque ya ni din enso ni imam Sheikh Amin wadin sembebre na enso etimi atuja na Sheikh Kasan anu echemze eziano o Muslim fo am wo Michael Kono Ghana ha e ade sesiano mumwa na munyina munka mum na yemwa e ma ye ni ma ye no enko nanim emfama o Michael Kono Ghana na dan kwakufu ado ye na yenso yedwi mpoma esi akire no entimi ankwa kama paade ne oboa o man ne beko so etimi yetim sa enso ewo eti una kokoko piemu pe opanyina ndian ni Sheikh Amin wono eneye imam enso ewa asantema na opanyina ene ye friend Simon o se mensan ya o ya Ashanti regional minister wo so afo o asantema ntem eso enso ko piemu ojumade na sno December na enso etimi atuda ya no so echirem sesesi ano se ye nyina ya nkambom na ya amoa amo mining pun 20 mi amape e ya de se ebe kwa ba NDC aban beba enso se ya amoa enya de se betimi akọ MPP beba obi ya beba be na afam de na enso ya se yesu ban pe nyema ewom no sa na be kọ so enso awom Simon no se men sani se mo de tuja
occasions like this present Muslims to reflect and rededicate ourselves to the ways of our Maker and the cause of nation building. Nation building requires the effort of all stakeholders and that remain focused. The unity between Muslims and Christians in Ghana is an envy of many countries in the world who would have wished to have such a relationship between these religious groups. In this regard, our call for the strengthening of unity of purpose that exists between religious organizations and the government. As you all know, both government and religious organizations share a common interest of promoting the well-being of Ghanaians. Rally behind it for the achievement of the vision of His Excellency the President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo to ensure that Ghanaians everywhere achieve better living standards in the fulfillment of the government development agenda. Let me reiterate that it is for the cause of unity as a nation that His Excellency the President of the Republic chose the team working together, bouncing back together for this year's Independence Day anniversary celebration. As a nation, we need to work together.
Ape ano tumfo na musini sumankwa hene enso etimbe piemu ono ma ono so ere nsema hodo ni bia enso etimi atuja na sei ene ne ono so etimi de to aso ewo ho
Isente mo mi mo ho pai na so gane nyina ho besante ko sim na sante basa ehun ni faso se wo do unu a na tuma kokora wo tia so se wo do unu a umfa aba mo ne kraman ye nyina fa wo to ande ko ye tra o ma awusi ai ko ni nyina ya asopwe basa bi enim asopwe wo de ya fa to fo de fa biasa avia mo wi na basa ko ba ni se basa madam nyina ase se mudi yele mo ma enso amapa
yemma awusi aye nyina no emfa sumdie enso emba o Michael Kono Ghana ha wei aye otumfo sumankwa hene ane ete ne nka no enso ho a wode nsema wodo na etimi atuja ede ame na hwefo ne etiefo na yenkopiem ewo nkran unya kopiem wankran de aye guso ewo muslim fo akache ene ide ofeti ne wonsensem na sei na bichis okra na ne mesmi ko ye enso etimi ade momo amanfo ahodo mu kopiem enso bichis ahodo a eno no ewo nkra pumpuni mantem onom no enso etimi ade ahotani nyema bebre na etimi ehhehye so na sei ana mo so ade to yanim enso ho
reviving fasting is meant and we appreciate the gift Allah has given us in terms of food and drink. Anna, the prayer started here, moment me we. Yami adum ye started here, so we have every reason to thank Allah. I advise my fellow Muslims and non-Muslims who will go out to enjoy the Salah celebration. Say they should do it in moderation. Motorbike around every distance, because enjoyment we have, shouldn't disturb, be an inconvenience.
Ya di Salah really asubie mu ahuto de hwehwe ya ba beach nde nyame nhyira so nde ya wi azumi nyame nhyira so nyame mo bia hondi na afini sesebre na yanya de epe
holiday di edaboko asana ye dem but e pick akra ni abehia very new friends service we eshu wo dem kra wo dwensi but we pick akra na at least you just forget your worries and it's a big cry. It's like you pay a bahano.
Mungo de ma Allah. Shekara ya kai mu lafiya mungo de ma Allah. Mungo de ma ubangiji. Alhamdulillah. Gashi mun zo beach. Mun zo muna enjoy. Holiday. Yes, ya ba na lockdown ni na she so. Ba se sia obi ene mamudi. Am se sia de.
Enti no say ene kokoko PM ewo ho. Na omuka se wie ya pe na chief imam enso di nsembebre na enso etimi atuja ewo ase ene ma kọ nanim erima Ghana wefo ene etiefo ewo ho na yento akase ebo no so ye nyina enim se na anu adakwasi ada first May no ana 11 no enso etimi ahihye so na hye ase ewo mai konkono Ghana ha na nkofo bebre na enso etimi esu ya massive yi enso etimi akọ so a amanfo bebre na etimi kọ ya withdrawing akese enso ye muzika nyina free momo no so na opanyini bi onu every chief of staff akache enso ba santimante man wadi nsembebe na tuja no chemse Ghana fo sade we very simple kra yenyina yemwa na yentime ma ne man ko nanim emfama 11 yenyintum yentua na mum ne make sure se be ma aban no enso e de aye ne ye wo se oye na mibusa yen ane e ko ma aban no e de aye ne wo se ya na yen ko ne ko ti opanyi kumsi enso se mo otime de tuja e wo ho
yenyina yenim se ewiase nyina akọ ahoche kese mu pa the problem abeto the global supply chain so nti ama the Ghana economy so akọ suffer because of that. And President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia and cabinet net na ase no IMF de na enye option say also o mine ko IMF ko honoma conditionalities o mo de be ma wono e be affect Ghana for more e be ka to say emfa nipa dwumam na ina so yenim say every year bia among for school so one year dwuma ma o mo ba betina fie na se bi o mo ba be bo ebrabone e de survive it me de me say Ghana for you live enye bone so ho enye akwa ye say twetwe bibi kakaka wo kutu kakaka anytime come kanam so me kakaka na ye dia bom na unemployment no abafom bom aye nyina ye ntum na mum ye tell you na ye keep government on its toes. The government should be accountable to the people. Say 11 to no say na ye dia we na dia ye na amount for you say omusika omotua no ye dia de papa omukwa mbe praise e bi cry
entino opanyina ne dia ni kumsi ya ono eye adwuma ewo so afa ohwe ya manyo sem so chief of staff akache ana etimi atene nka odi nsema odo na enso etimi atuja eri ame na hwefo ani etiefo no enso ewo ho na emo wi ni nkopiem enso opanyina ne wono Ghana man panyi dada John Dramani Mahama wono angasa no osan presidential candidate enso e de ma NDC amanyoko no afimpi menu ni aduonu abato a ye kokokoto ye no enso mu na working Peace Hotel ono de nsembere na atuja wa bra odi follow busy shares so Ghana at a crossroad enso etime shares no change sesi an 11 no ade se oman no yempe enso ho ye nyina ye hwese ne Ghana ban enso etime ebu Ghana forever so efe 11 ni mo ade se ya asifim yepa eti senyame ya adom na se NDC for to aba enso etime de ma wono no be flat bearer enso etime eta NDC amanyoko na nimpe obetimi aba bedi aba no na obedi akonya no Michael Kuru Ghana no san be president biope 11 obetwam na wa maniema enso etime akona nim ede amaye yenko na yenko tie opanyina ni din ene John Dramani Mahama ne nsem otimi ade tuja no enso ebi.
Our present economic dire straits is a direct outcome of their poor economic policy choices and wasteful expenditure. Governments since the Fourth Republic have all invested in digital infrastructure in order to modernize our economy. In my time as president, we laid some of the most extensive kilometers of fiber optic cable in this country. And we further provided 4G LTE wireless broadband in order to bring all parts of our country into the new digital revolution. Through these investments, we have created the opportunity for Ghanaians to enjoy the ease of electronic transactions. Indeed, Ghanaians have taken to the ease of electronic transactions very well. Mobile money payments are used for remittances to parents in the villages. They are used in the markets and supermarkets to pay for groceries. They are used by market women and other traders to replenish their stock. And they are used at filling stations to pay for fuel and services rendered. Internet and electronic banking has made it easier to move money from account to account without the use of checks or cash transfers. This is a positive development for our economy and represents the fastest means of shrinking the informal economy and bringing us all into the formal one. Unfortunately, in the face of this self-inflicted economic catastrophe, this government, against all sound advice, has decided to introduce the e-levy, a regressive tax that heaps more suffering on Ghanaians. Recently, our president was asked in a BBC interview why he was choosing to tax the incomes of Ghanaians in their electronic wallets that had already been taxed. The president's answer was that it is the newest and fastest growing sector of our economy that is not being taxed. It is the newest and fastest growing sector of our economy that is not being taxed. Clearly, either the president did not understand the question or he is clueless about the regressive nature of the e-levy. Let's say, for example, a worker gets paid in his electronic wallet. His pay as you earn tax has been deducted already. For every transfer or purchase above 100 cedis he makes on his e-wallet, he has to pay an additional 1.5% multiple times anytime he uses his mobile money payment. It will now be tempting for such a person to draw cash from his e-wallet and make those payments for his groceries, his fuel, entertainment, utility bills, all with cash, because then he'll avoid paying 1.5% on every payment he makes. The collection of the e-levy began yesterday, and like a slap in the face, it began on May Day, when we are supposed to be celebrating workers. We are celebrating a new tax imposed on them. And already there is a litany of complaints about the implementation. I've heard complaints of transfers of under 100 cedis being subject to tax contrary to the law. And I've heard others say that they sent 1,000 cedis and paid no additional tax. Clearly, the Ghana Revenue Authority and those responsible for this tax were not ready for its implementation. Government's desperation to tax Ghanaians to get this nation out of the hellhole it has dumped us will not succeed, because government's own budget proposals show that the e-levy will not make any significant contribution in resolving our problems, but will exert an adverse toll on the people of Ghana. We in the NDC do not oppose taxation as a principle. We will not be pretentious and couch fanciful slogans to condemn the principle of taxation like the MPP did in the past. We are, however, implacably opposed to distortionary and burdensome taxes like the e-levy that only force Ghanaians to endure more suffering. A new National Democratic Congress government, God willing, and with the votes of the sovereign people of Ghana in 2025, will repeal the e-levy Act.
eti Ghana man penyi dada John Dramani Mahama ani etene nkana ode nsema odo na nso etimi atuja edi amaya wo chem se NDC amanyoko no beba apen aban mu Nyankopon ya adoma 2025 pepepe na eso ma ba betwa 11 na Ghana fo ade wo ho enso etumi edi efri mu na ne ma akonanim edi amaye na yenko market anase yenko adwama so nkonko wese ne Ghana sesi ani yensika no esimi ereti ede ko dollar no enso emu sesi Ghana cedi no unya $1 per 7.16 and so when one sem no etimi connect gradually na so tiba kakaka and so when one sem ko na nimpa e de emai na Ghana cedi comparing to pound sterling no sesi anu cedi no unya £1 per enu so etimi akọ 8.9 a one sem no etimi ko na nim e de emai na se nearest whole number no almost 9 anisa na se ko na nimpa uko euro nso a eno no Ghana cedi against euro 7.4 and so when some net my deja area more my konkoro Ghana nti anu yensika no won twetwede enso okwema uko adwaman so enase wiase afa na nyina adwaman so a yensika no enkoba bia eguzu etim ya ye bre ni eso fan so henu na ma economy no enso etim agija wo wa ehonsem no etime ekofom edi emaye ewo ho na Ghana mampina bi de chi Dr. Muhammad Bawumi Ashebo ya wo chim se niema betimi akonanim edi amaye se ne niema besimi afa no yangas yenwene ho na ebeboa yempa enso ewo ho ehonsem no aye kama enso edi amaye na mekwa kopiem e Tanzania unya kopiem o Tanzania ope amane ba yen second year free se fu wensensem no etime awuri akosuru ye pa enso ewo ho no ma ese o manfo ho no esu etwadwade o srega Tanzania ban se wontimi anya omo aboa na emo eniema nso ntimi nko nanim enso emfa emo omo ewo ho aha na brebe makwan me de kase ebo ni nyina nso etimi asi asda kase nkoma Brefo Travel and Tour was it to kwane na eti aka wo china bi friend number we +4420 80684974 +4420 80684974 na otumi emo na ne man nko nanim emfa ema to kwane na eti aka wo china bi umpo we na opeden ene unya kopie mo na kache won mo betima ene ma wo do bebre na enso etumi edi aboa unya ko ne nchempe wono bedi nkoma hodo enhyehyɛ ya hodo a wo ho no ono wa fa adwen pa sebe ya nei wo vesa no nsensem ye ready pe na di sika ba beje paper na ne ma ko nanim hotel reservation wo yoni nyina enso e ho no ma ne ma ko nanim enso etumi e de emai freno enso +442080684974 na otimi emwa hwehwe ye kira kwan www.brefotravel.co.uk na ne ma ko nanim opese wo ye kira kwan so ewo Michael Kro Ghana ha unya kopie mu enso ewo eja mwako junction ope eniema betimi akonanim enso etumi edi amount ewo honum na bibia enso aye pepepe edi amount Brefo Travel and Tour to kwane na eti aka wo chinebi GOP multimedia so masni bi ana kasebe etumi eba wa kwem na niema enso etimi akonanim edi amaye na refo eni na tiefo nyina no enso ewo honum midi eno Oheneba Appiah Kubi femina sai na menyu su ye pa me na mejepe enya abrede kase ni nchire mu nyina no etumi eba wa kwem na ne manso etumi konanim ede magana refro ene etiefo nyina no ewo honum na Nyankopon ya adoma anwume unimi hia ene Champions League wo ho na ne ma konanim Real Madrid against Man City senyi ene ne ma besimi akọ enrada Villarreal enso ene Liverpool ede boani na kowi eche na Liverpool etimi ache Villarreal etwa mo eka pole miensa wo team emienu pe na eniema akonanim enso etumi ede ama muti go aggregate na ekokoye 2 a eno no ama Liverpool etimi apiem e the grand finale e UEFA Champions League no enso emu na eniema akonanim ede amaye ye so edi no eguso aye Oheneba Appiah Kubi Nyankopon ya adoma anwume unimi hia makraw.
You're listening to DOD Radio in the heart of Reading Town, the station dedicated to the black community news, education and entertainment. Stay tuned.